Ninjas lied to you, the Shuriken is not a weapon. You've seen it in movies, anime, and games. A ninja leaps from the shadows and with a flick of the wrist, a shuriken slices through the air and drops an enemy instantly. It looks deadly, precise, silent. But, what if I told you that everything you know about the shuriken is a lie? In this video, we're tearing apart the myths, revealing the truth, and asking one simple question: was the shuriken ever really a weapon? Or was it something else entirely? Let's go deep. From the myths of feudal Japan to modern gaming culture, we're about to uncover the real story behind the world's most misunderstood throwing blade. From Naruto to Call of Duty, Hollywood and gaming have turned the shuriken into a legendary throwing weapon. But where did this idea even come from? We'll look at key scenes from famous media, anime, action films, and games, and break down how these scenes have warped the public's understanding. Spoiler: real ninjas probably didn't insta-kill anyone with these scenes are spectacular, but the truth is much less glamorous. The cinematic ninja is not the historical ninja. The shuriken became a visual icon, not a battlefield tool. Let's break down a few examples frame by frame. Look at the technique, the physics, the enemy reaction. It's all exaggerated. It's a symbol, not a strategy. Also, think about the psychology. Why does Hollywood love the shuriken so much? Is it the sleek shape? The lethal fantasy? The satisfying sound? We'll explore that too. Historically, the word shuriken means sword hidden in the hand. It includes throwing spikes, bow shuriken, and flat stars, hira shuriken, but their role in combat was very different from what pop culture says: used to distract, delay, or wound lightly, not to kill. Often coated with poison or thrown to make enemies flinch. It was a tool of misdirection, not a main weapon. In fact, the most common use was tactical. A quick toss to make someone dodge. A sound in the dark to confuse a guard. It was battlefield chess, not brute force. Ancient manuals show many designs, sizes, and materials, from nails to coins sharpened at the edges. A weapon of improvisation, not elegance. Even the manufacturing was basic. These were disposable. Made fast, lost fast. And rarely used in life or death moments. Let's test the myth. We'll show real shuriken throws. Real targets. Real damage. Can it pierce skin? Armor? Bone? Can it stop someone charging at you? Spoiler: not really. At best, it stings. At worst, it misses completely. In most tests, shuriken barely break the skin. Against clothing or armor, they're ineffective. This isn't Hollywood, it's physics. We'll also compare styles: bow shuriken versus hira shuriken, rotational throw versus direct stab. And even compare it to more practical weapons like throwing knives and darts, and we'll run some slow-motion tests to measure impact speed, accuracy, and control under pressure. You'll be surprised how difficult it is to land even one clean throw. So why did ninjas use it at all? Because fear is a weapon. A spinning blade in the dark isn't meant to kill, it's meant to distract, intimidate, and create a moment of hesitation. It was psychological warfare, not physical. And that made it powerful in its own way. The human brain reacts fast to danger. A flash of metal can freeze a guard or give a ninja half a second, and sometimes, that's all they needed. Imagine being in a pitch-black corridor. You hear a faint whistle. A flash. A blade bounces off the wall beside you. Are you still thinking straight? That moment of panic was everything. The shuriken was never about damage. It was about timing, fear, and control of space. Today, the shuriken lives on in cosplay, fan fiction, and collector walls. But the gap between fantasy and reality is enormous. We'll compare modern replicas, custom builds, and what the law says in different countries. Spoiler: in many places, they're illegal, not because they're deadly, but because they look deadly. Let's take a quick tour. The US, UK, Germany, Japan. Different laws, same fear. Bans based on perception, not performance. We'll also look at some viral YouTube videos, shuriken builds, throwing competitions, and how social media keeps the fantasy alive. Collectors love them. Gamers worship them. But even martial arts schools admit, they're more historical artifact than functional weapon. So, were you lied to? Kind of. The shuriken was never the ninja's go-to killing tool. It was a side piece. A distraction. A myth wrapped in steel, but myths have power. And the shuriken, while never truly lethal, is still one of the most iconic symbols of silent combat the world has ever known. From ancient shadows to modern screens, the journey of the shuriken teaches us one thing: sometimes, the deadliest weapon is the story we believe. This was Blade Barrel. Subscribe for more weapon myth busting and the truth behind legendary arms. We've got more blades to break down, more myths to destroy, and more secrets to uncover.